Hello, hello, hello. We are back for week 5 of Scrapbusting with Melina and Gail. So that would be Melina Pylant and Gail Augustinelli. Their YouTube channels will be in the description box below, as well as the hashtag for Melina's M's Scrapbusters. So this week was a little I don't know. I'm like, this week, do I enjoy what this week's was? I don't really know that I don't know. We'll see. So Melina did some collage tags, but she did it in a blind fashion, in that she did an overall collage board, and then excuse me, did a blind cutting of it. I'm actually going to scoot this over just a smidge, just so that I can kind of have some space off to the left for my glue pages and for tearing, because I will potentially need to tear some papers down. So this, again, obviously, this is about using up your scraps. But you lay out your tag shapes. So this is using up your scraps of cardstock as well as your scraps of paper. Cut them to various sizes. Cut them all into tag shapes, and then you just kind of line them up side by side. Can leave a little space there if you choose in between, because eventually you're going to cut these all out. Oops. What is going on there? It's like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure why that one's so cattywampus. So let's try that again. So clearly I did not cut that tag straight, which I will fix after the fact. Because, yeah, like, they're not lining up straight at all. While I'm thinking about it, hold on just a sec. Reach down into my drawer and grab another glue stick, because and I knocked part of my pile over. This glue stick is almost gone. That was quite attractive of my spouse. Hopefully the camera or the microphone didn't pick that up as he walked by my craft room door. We're not using cardstock. Let's see, that's this Let's try to get these glued together. I want this to be this big, so I'm going to tear this down just a smidge, tear it in half roughly. You can hear that scrape. I'm like at the very, very end of this glue stick. Okay, so this one, you don't have to line everything up perfect. You know, because again, we're cutting these down, but I do want to try to like stay on the edges as much as I can. Oop, look at there. I think that is my glue stick saying, I'm done. So we're going to set that aside for just a slight moment. Okay, and I'm going to put these tags together and together. And I'm going to kind of glue them together. And that's just to keep them ideally from moving. Although I do have some overlap going on here with this red one. So we're having some disagreements here. Throw that one away. This one open and upside down in my jar so I don't lose control of it. Let's see. I really need to figure out which YouTube channel that was, because that has been a game changer for me. Come on. I don't want to put it over there because that's too matchy-matchy. Let's go this way. There we go. And this is unfortunately going to probably glue itself to the paper underneath. I'm going to try to prevent from happening as much as I can. I got some more cardstock that I'm pulling out for another project that I'm working on. I've answered in my Facebook group. We're doing a die cut sharing. Don't know how to explain that. So we started a thread, and people were asked to put one subject matter in the comment section of what they would like in a die cut. So like butterflies or florals or leaves, whatever. And then those of us that have die cutting machines connect with those people and kind of hash out the details, like what their color preferences are, and stuff like that. And then I cut them out and send them off. So if you've watched my channel, some of my other playlist stuff, you may have noticed that I'm kind of a die hoarder. Like, I love to purchase dies. My Sizzix is by far my favorite toy. Well, that didn't tear where I wanted it to. And so yeah, I was like, I jumped on it. And so I've got a lot of, where did that come from? Weird. Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of the die cutting to fulfill that quote unquote obligation. So kind of doing it's scrap busting purposes too, because rather than going straight to, say, my paper over there and getting out whole new papers, I've gone to my scrap envelope first, which was kind of a different behavior. Is that the word I'm looking for me? Because normally I'm like, and I go straight for I'm bad. That's why I have so many scraps, and I've got buckets upon buckets upon buckets of scraps, because it's like I don't go to them when I'm looking for small pieces. It's like, oh, I just break into another 12 by 12, do what I need to do, and then I end up creating this whole other pile of scraps. So again, I'm just lifting that up just to try to keep it from getting stuck. Got some paper, some gesso paper. So this is like doing a masterboard. But what the tags look like, I won't know until after I cut them apart. And I will be cutting them apart, obviously, from the other side. So doing this, don't really know necessarily where all of the borders are for all the different book pages. So it definitely gives a different, a surprise factor when you do finally get to flip it over, cut out the pieces. Unstick. Digging down into some depth there. Page is annoying me. It's sounding an awful lot like my husband's not in the living room anymore. It almost sounds like I'm hearing his game system, which is on, on the other side of the house. So it's, crazy to think that I can hear it. And another little piece of cardboard that's got stuff on it. Goes here. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more glue up underneath here. This wasn't quite sticking. Okay. I'll let that dry a little bit because it wasn't really glue everywhere, but there was glue in enough places that it's making things stick where I didn't want it to. Now this was Melina's, so M's Scrapbusters. And then Gail did clusters using her scraps. Not a fan of clusters, never really have been. So again, this is kind of another set of Scrapbuster projects that I'm like, but I'm doing them because it is part of my challenge for this year. Is that what I mean? It's part of my challenge. It's part of it's my word for the year is challenge. So in doing these, even if it's doing a type that I'm not super happy doing, or I've tried in other aspects of my journaling and I've already determined that I'm like, I don't really like those. I don't, or whatever. I'm doing them anyway. And definitely in the case of clusters, I've made some, never used them. I can't even really say that I enjoy making them, if I'm being completely truthful about it. And stick. Okay, I think I have this. I have one little strip here and I have one little corner here. Okay. Digging. Not this one. Ugh. And then I'm going to set this off to the side to let it dry before I cut the. Oh, I still have all of this up here to do. Scratch that. I'm not done. And one more little piece right there. What do I have in my pile that's different? That's cardstock. Cardstock, cardstock, cardstock. This is from a bag. Whew, I'm going to have to turn my fan off. And then we're going to make that one. And then we're going to tear off right here. Now we're going to set this off to the side to dry. Okay. Now, clusters. Clusters is taking small pieces of varying widths, lengths, colors, right now I'm just tearing these down. See, I got this one already. Got this one. This one. This one. Oh, turn your heater down like you said you were going to. This, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tear this. We're going to try. Doesn't have to be super straight. I mean, they don't even have to be straight at all, to be honest. It just make them if you don't want to use a straight edge, you could just tear them by hand. That is always an option. Oh, I already tossed this one back in there, didn't I? So I do have a bunch of like little paper strips. Okay, we're going to go with these. Okay. Let's start with some long one. And then I'm waiting for my my body temperature to go down from having my heater going. So I'm definitely got overheated. Okay, so I'm just going to run a bead up the side there. I glue this down. Okay. And then I'm going to run a bead here. We're going to put this hanging out that way. And then go that. Oh, look at me gluing on something other than my glue page. Not my aesthetic. As I said, I do not enjoy clusters. I never have. I'm like, I don't get the hype. Get off my finger. Still want to know where that ink came from. So basically, I mean, this is all you're really doing is you're layering, layering different scraps. And you're doing them at various intervals. Mix and matching colors, so on and so forth. And then decorating. I'm just going to set that off to the side. Okay. Start with a blue one. Let's put sunflowers down. Now, Gail has her cluster book that she learned from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. So she does like all of her, she has a whole journal. Like I have my book that holds my my labels in, for example. So she's got a book that holds all of her clusters, and then she can either just tear them out of off the main page, or she's kind of played around and toyed with using double-sided sticky tape. She's trying to find ways to use the cluster book without destroying the structure that it's on. I'm ending up with what, 4? Come off the glue page, please. Thank you. And then go on this side. Dropping it down off to the side as well as down. And then since I have this, I'm not going to use the little doggy food one because, yeah, because. Whoops. That down, just right down the center. Okay. So you have your cluster O scraps, right? Strips. And then you want to decorate them somehow. My apologies if I am feel a bit discombobulated in the way I'm speaking. I'm actually withdrawing from one of my medications, so it's causing me a little bit of brain turmoil. Also, why the fan is causing me heat issues, I think, as well. No rhyme or reason. I just randomly grabbed my little folder of 1-inch circles. Well, there's one of the ones that had the brown missing off the back. Let's put a flower one. Okay. Just give you a little flower up there. These ones back. Let's see. Oh, duh. I moved all my labels. Do I have any skinny? I do have some skinny peoples. I do have a lot of old-fashioned ladies. Which not all of them are going to be able to work because I don't want to, obviously I just put that circle down, right? So I don't want to like cover them completely. She's one of my favorites. Yeah, why not? We'll just do those 4. I mean, they're going into my book, idea book. Okay. Blue page. Excuse me. Sorry, my brain keeps going to the fact that it's like, yeah, the medication is almost, well, the medication is out of my system, which is why I'm experiencing the withdrawals. But the symptoms of withdrawals can last for like 2 weeks. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that because, yeah, wasn't fully prepared for that. Okay. So again, this is Gail Galagustinelli, and she did the scrap clusters. Which can be used for multiple different things. This one's the longest one, so I'm actually going to put this one in as an edge to a page. It's also got the thinnest base, so it would be a poor example of other stuff. So you can put it like this just as a page decoration. And I'm lining that thin paper up with the edge, and then it creates kind of like a little tab. You can see it overhangs a little bit. So you could do it that. You could do this as, you could do these as a belly band. You know, same technique. You're going to want to, you know, top and bottom, glue the top, glue the bottom, and then glue it onto your page. Just going to come down the center. Why not? Why not? And then you'll have a belly band to put stuff under once it's dry. You could also use these to decorate tags, journaling cards, pockets. So because I have 2 extra, I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to use them to decorate the tag and the journaling card from last week. Let's see. So where do I want the journaling card to go? Okay. So you have a plain tag that hasn't been decorated yet. You can use one of these clusters, put it on a tag, and your tag is automatically decorated. Right? So just like that, by creating a cluster, and then you have a tag decoration. I'm going to have the journaling card going this way, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make this, rather than a glued down decoration, I'm going to put this on as a belly band. So again, I'm going down the center of the card as best as I can measure. I'll let that glue set. So then not only do I have a journaling card that can go in a pocket, but that journaling card also has a belly band on it. So belly band. And then this itself is a belly band. So these are similar to these that I've made. These are on sewing paper, and they're folded over in, I can't remember if it's halves or thirds. Put labels, stickers, stamping. Oh no, it's doubled. And then same concept is that when you have a tag, right, then you just glue this on and boom, your tag is decorated. So same concept. But again, I've made these. I made a whole bunch of them. Never used them. I think I've used one. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. So this is week 5 for Gail. Stuff is getting in the way. Getting stuck when it normally doesn't. And for whatever reason, my Fabri-Tac now is like fighting me coming out of the bottle. Now, as a page edging, if this was made of a strong enough material, you could glue here, here, and here and make it a side pocket as well. This one that I chose to have on the edge, I wouldn't do it as a pocket because of the underlying material being that paper bag material. Set that aside. Oh, this darn chair drives me crazy. Oh, sorry, I had to put some medicine on my nose. It's like, all right. So now we're going to cut it from this side. We'll know what this side, what each individual tag looks like once it's all cut out. Now, just like Melina did, any scraps that I'm cutting off, I'm throwing in the garbage. I'm not holding secondhand scraps to use again. So like all of this is going to go into the trash. And you see, I set it off to the side upside down. This was a cheater one because It was plain on one side, decorated on one side. I'm like, we'll cheat on that one just a little bit. Get it out of the scrap pile. I'm sitting here thinking this week for Melina is tags, but I don't think I have anything. I have to go grab a pocket from over in my stash. You know, that green one and I, we are not getting along so well. My goodness, my head hurts. Ugh, such a headache. Oy. And I completely missed my garbage can underneath my table. All right. So then when you flip these over, this is what your tags look like. And you get this surprise of what everything looks like. Right? So then things, then you just got to put a focal point on them. What is the little one? This envelope is my Shabby Dabby Doodah flowers. I'm not going to decorate all of them, but let's see. See if I have a birdie that's big enough. Blackbird's a little harsh. think these guys are too big. This back section. I am feeling like I need a fan on me or something. Okay, didn't want to pull them all out, but boy, my ears are ringing. I definitely got to find something else to put my birds in, because this is not the best way to store these. It was great in the moment, but now that I'm trying to like use one of them, it's like, oh, these are kind of hard to get to. It's hard to see what's in there. Too big. Why am I spending so much time fussing over this? This is my idea book. Where did the other one go? Let's do that one. No, don't stick to the glue page. Again, try to squish these. So yeah, I need to make a book like I did for my labels to put all these birds in. Because rifling through them like that every time I want to use a bird is going to discourage me from using a bird. You know, the fact that I now have to try to maneuver them all back in. Okay. And what I'm going to do for this one, after I get stuff put away. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this spot, which I didn't do when I cut it out the first time, because it then makes the wings and stuff very fragile, or the tail, right? To have that little area cut out. And then I'm going to trim this down. You know what? I'm going to use the edge of the card to trim it down instead of me trying to cut straight. Put that down. So part of the tail is going to be cut off. Look at me using my non-sticky scissors to cut paper that's got glue on it. So that's just dressing it up. And then again, you can put a little hole. Try to center it. It's got the little tab hole there. You can use hole reinforcers, eyelets, whatever you choose to secure that hole. But then this becomes primary. This would be a decorative. You couldn't really, you could write a little bit here and a little bit down in here. You couldn't really write on the back. Whereas these ones are all solid, so you could write on the backs of these. But this is the idea, is to use your cardstock as your bases. Do a blind collage and then cut them out individually. So let's see. Go grab a quick pocket. I have a quick pocket. I'll use another one of these, I guess. I need to make a bunch more of these because these were really fun pockets to make. Whew. Hey, barely fits on the page. And in this case, I'm going to go sides, bottom, and the other side. Because that will leave this back area open as a pocket. I'm going to scoot that out all the way to the edge. Normally I wouldn't. But in this case, I do want to do that because I don't want it to impede on the spine. Just kind of rubbing off that extra glue. Because per usual, I don't know where my glue eraser is. So you have a pocket here. You have a pocket here. You have a pocket here. I don't know if any of these are going to fit in these side ones. So you got a pocket here. And you have a pocket here. Right? So gluing it on the page in a U, you end up with 1, 2, 3. My page is open. 4, and 5 pockets. That's a short one. Trying to find a short tag. Anyway. Yeah, the page itself, because it's an old book page. When I folded it, it cracked open. All right. And with that, we have week 5. For Melina and Gail. Put that up right. Just going to stick this right here. Glue. Dry, wet wipe. Gosh, I hope I can remember how to make those. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put all of those in there. Maybe not. I'll just put 2 in there. All right. So there we go. Week 5. Gail Augustinelli's Scrappy Saturday, and week 5 of M's Scrapbusters. And I'm having to go back and glue this on because I realized that those stickers don't stick very well. But in all fairness, they came from a company that was going out of business, or that had gone out of business. So I have no idea how old they were, but I thought they were. There actually weren't ones that I ordered specifically or I purchased specifically. She just threw them in the box as extras. But anyway, there we have it. So this week, week 5 for the scrap busting is in the books. Hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to start following along. If you got a stash of papers laying around like I do, let's just start using them and decluttering our craft room a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye. Or on the next video. Bye-bye.